Hello everybody, welcome back to the Dice Must Flow, and today we're going to jump on the Boardgame Timewarp and take a look at a game from the past. This is a game that came out before a movie that had Rose and Jack and the heart of the ocean, and our heart would go on, but we still remember it all, and that game is The Sinking of the Titanic. Now this is quite a unique game where you play, and during the course of the game the boat actually sinks and you have to go rescue people and eventually get onto the lifeboats and get to the rescue ship. So let's take a look. The Sinking of the Titanic was published in 1975 by Ideal and Milton Bradley and is for 2 to 4 players. Okay, so we have the board for Sinking of the Titanic out. And the first thing we need to do is a little bit of assembly. You can see that this rivet actually is together there. But this board is actually, and this is the neat thing about this game, this board has 2 clips on the side. And you can see you spin the Titanic such that it is fully afloat. And then you have these clips that you add on the side that keeps the board together. Okay, there you go. And you can see that the white line here is at the start. So you can see that each player starts in the start position, and there are 2 dice rolled on each player's turn. And when you roll, you move, and each of these are considered separate. So let's say I actually rolled a conveniently good number of a 1 and a 4. So I can move up 1 and then over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, it would have actually had to have been a 5. When I land on a blue space, I'm able to collect a water. If I land on a green space, and this is by exact number, I'm able to collect a food. Now they have different colored food and water tokens. The colors don't match the colors that are on the board. When rescuing passengers, you just can't go to the most convenient room. You're actually going to have to shuffle these cards to pass the stateroom cards and draw a new card. And I guess this is would be the face up side. And when you draw the card, Reverend Parrish, you will be told that you have to go to stateroom 6 and try and rescue him. And so you're not able to rescue anybody else until you actually get to stateroom 6, or stateroom 6 actually goes underwater. Once a room goes underwater, you're not able to rescue that person, and you would draw a new person. And in this case, it would be stateroom 18, and that would be your new target room. During your turn, when you roll the dice, anytime you roll a 1 or a 6, that is going to cause the Titanic to sink. And what that does is you move the Titanic up 1 of these notches. So if you roll a double 6, you move it 2, and slowly, as you see, this ship is going to sink. And when it sinks, these pieces are no longer available, and the people in these rooms are not able to be rescued. So as the game continues, the ship, I have it clipped a little too tight, is going to continue to sink and sink and sink. So during setup, we would have had to have had lifeboats set up here. And the object of the game is to actually end up on the rescue boat with yourself, with 2 passengers, and 2 food, and 2 water. So at any point during the game, when you think you have enough or you want to risk it, you can head to the lifeboat. You snap your guy in, and then as the ship sinks, once this lifeboat goes away, then that lifeboat is launched. And this begins, well, the weird phase of the game, because I didn't know there were tropical islands up where icebergs were at, but apparently there are. And so phase 2 of the game is the sea phase of the game. In the sea phase of the game, you can go to these islands, and essentially you're waiting for the rescue ship to end up here. Now if you don't have enough passengers or food or water, when you move, and again, it's just rolling, and that's a bad example, but let's say I rolled a 1, 2, 3, and then a 1, 2, 3. and landed on that island, there are island adventure cards. And I can draw the card, and I can see that in this case, a cask was swept away by high tides, and I lost 1 food and water. And I can keep going to different islands, or if I stay out at sea, there are sea adventure cards. And every turn I stay at sea, I would draw a sea adventure card. In this case, it's raining cats and dogs, and I can take 1 food and water. And so like I said, once you actually have 2 people, 2 food, 2 water, your goal is to land by exact number in one of these spots here when the rescue ship, so you can see eventually after the Titanic totally sinks like this, you will see that the rescue ship does indeed come. And I think this is really why we liked this game so much when we were growing up. So you can see as you're slowly sinking the Titanic, eventually you're waiting for that rescue ship to come, which is going to come over here. And as you can see, we played this a lot. This edge that you actually push got quite a lot of wear. But eventually, you're going to push this all the way down, and the rescue ship will pop up here. So if you end on the rescue ship, any of these 12 spaces, by exact number, with 2 food, with 2 water, and 2 passengers, then you win the game. And that's pretty much it. There is a little bit of take that. You actually can, if you land next to somebody, you can steal something from them. For example, a passenger or a food or a water. There's one other thing in the game, so you can, somehow you can swim out in the ocean, and all the extra lifeboats go to Island 1 when they launch if nobody's in them. So you can actually swim to Island 1 and get a lifeboat, and then start moving from there. And when you're swimming, you're only rolling 1 die. You get the lifeboats, you move around, you can go to the islands or try and stay at sea, try and find stuff, and then get onto the rescue boat and win the game. Like I said, we always thought that the sinking portion and surviving the sinking was the cool part. This whole island hopping thing, I don't know where that came from, and it's a little bit goofy. But the whole sinking mechanism was something we really liked. I just kind of wanted to show you this whole sinking mechanism. I thought was pretty cool. And so I just thought we'd get onto the time warp and take a look at it. So that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll talk to you later.